All right, welcome. I'm Steve Wallen, and here's Online Teaching Tools 2.0. I use a lot of these in my classes, and they make everything run smooth. So what's the difference between 1.0 and 2.0 teaching tools? It's very simple. When we first started teaching online and using a lot of electronics, everything was just another way to give information to students. So in other words, rather than just having a lecture in class, it'd be a lecture online, but there wasn't much like interaction. Okay, so 2.0 means there's more interaction available. So it's not just that they're getting content, but that they can express on the content, they can question the content, they can interact with the content. That's what 2.0 means. It just means it completes the cycle and they can go with what's going on. All right. Online lectures is probably the most basic of them. Okay, online lectures have developed a lot, and it's any video students have access to help them work. Okay, think about what points in your class students struggle with. Okay, your online lecture could be about a chapter, specific topic, how to do homework, and this is a big one, a syllabus video. How many of us get questions upon questions all the time about what this course is going to be like? What's the workload? What's this with this? And you know what? Just have a syllabus video for them. Just say, go watch the video. Syllabus videos right here. And also, whenever there's a syllabus video, people just feel a lot more calmer going into the course. If they didn't get something, they can rewatch that part of the video. They can rewind it a little bit, like, oh, you talked about something about quizzes. What was that about quizzes? Reverse, rewind. There's a lot of different ways you can apply the online lectures to your class as far as the ways it can help it. Why would you want online lectures in your class? Biggest thing, it saves you time, it saves the student time, okay? There's a lot of things that we don't need to redo every single time. I mean, if people can just watch it at home and it's a lecture based, let them watch it at home, and then let class be for interaction, let class be for discovery, let class be for higher engagement. And let the students learn at their pace, okay? How many times have you guys had a lecture where every single time you guys think you have to repeat it like 2 or 3 times for a certain student? This will help that student out, and that student will be very grateful. And I think it's interesting, not only can they re-watch certain things as relearn as needed, the magic of video, they can re-watch it, they can also just slow it down. You can go into YouTube on their videos, and instead of watching at full speed, you can watch it at 0.75 speed. Or if you think it's going too slow as a student, you can put it at 1.25 speed and speed it up a bit. Overall, it's going to allow class time for online discussion. Okay, enhance class time and allows for online discussion. These are the main things you're looking at. Are you really using class time effectively? Are things that you can put and send to them to do at home there for them to actually do at home? And then when you're in class, are you getting work done? How to make a good lecture. Make sure it has a plan. I've seen many people try and do lectures without a PowerPoint or slideshow. You have to be very disciplined. With a PowerPoint or slideshow, just like I'm doing right now, I go from point to point to point. I'm not doing too many tangents. If I'm not doing it this way and I'm just kind of like out and about on a website or something, sometimes it gets very wavy, okay? Has an outline. Pictures as needed. That's part of the reason why the PowerPoint's there. You actually have something going along with what I'm saying. It's moving. Also, you notice right here in the bottom right, or sorry, it should be bottom left for you guys, okay? You're going to see me here. It helps to have something dynamic going on the page. Whenever possible, have your face actually talking and doing something. It engages people. All right, people, it's one thing to look at a screen that talks, but it's something to look at a person that talks. There's another dynamic that happens there. Make a pattern to the lectures. So usually one chapter, set up a pattern and just keep doing it until you have all the chapters done. It makes it a lot easier. It makes it easier for students to follow. Avoid too many tangents. Accountability, quiz concert. This is the other thing. If you're going to have a lecture, you want people to actually watch it. You want them to actually pay attention when they watch it too. So they need to watch it and pay attention when they watch it. You got to have accountability. So whether it's a quiz, whether it's they have to put comments in, whatever it is, you have to have accountability in order for these lectures to be useful for you and for your students. Because let's face it, we're humans. We're lazy. Unless there's accountability, we don't do anything half the time. Okay? What tools can you use? Okay, OBS recorder or another screen recorder. OBS is the mainstream. That's what pretty much every game streamer uses. I don't know if you've seen people who like play games online and then stream it to people. That's what OBS is. It's open source, so it's free. It's high end, does a lot. Right now, as you can tell, green screen with ChromaCast. It's an add-in you can do. Just type in ChromaCast in there. They'll show you how to set up with OBS. I have a green screen behind me. If you don't have a green screen, you're going to see a lot of random junk, which is okay. I mean, if you're in your classroom, no issue there. Even if you're home, if it's just random junk, it's not an issue. But it looks a little bit nicer, a little bit more professional when you have a green screen when possible. Web camera. Right now, I'm just using a Logitech 720. web cameras work out great. Logitech 720 seems to be about the best for the dollar. It's around like 50 bucks, 70 bucks around there. Good microphone. Right now I'm using a Yeti Blue, but the thing is also, if you want, if you notice right here, you can use a microphone like this. This is part of the reason I put the headset on for the first part of this show, okay? So even if you need to just use a microphone coming out of a headset, you'll actually get really good recording off of that. So let me go ahead and put the headset over it now that I've shown you that. So even if you have to use a headset like this, it's okay, as long as your students can hear you. All right. What is assisted study? Ooh. Examples are Learnsmart. It's from Connect. It's something that we use with the publisher. They're saying here it makes students learn. When they show it, they know the material, they progress. They keep getting questions wrong, it shows them where to learn. Only penalty for learning is needed to take more time. So basically what it is, it's forced learning, okay? If I gave you a quiz and you get it wrong, you're like, well, who cares? I got it wrong, move on. But I say, you have to get it right, and you have to keep doing this quiz until you get it right. Well, at some point, you're going to learn the information, get the right answer, so you can move on. So what it does is it just basically shows them, as you read, these are the things we're looking for to see if you know them, and if you don't know them, you get sent back to that portion of the reading. And that's why they call it assisted study, so people can see whether or not they're actually getting the information down. And like I said before, only penalty is if you're slow at it and not taking a lot of time, it's just going to take you more to get through, okay? You're not going to lose points, but it only progresses when you get things right. Why is it different than reading and normal quizzes, okay? It focuses your readings. It'll show you what's important, okay? So it'll give you a question, and you're like, oh, they gave me a question on that, that must be important. If there's no question on it, the level of importance goes down. You quickly realize what's important to learn, okay? No penalty for learning, only time taken. That's just going back to it, okay? A lot of times with a quiz, you feel like, hey, I missed it, you're penalized, okay? With assisted learning, I missed it, let me see what I need to go learn, and when I get it right, I move on, okay? So there is a penalty for learning, which is time, but you're not like set back really as much. How to use assisted study in your class? Use it as a progression tool. Okay, this is the way I have my entire class formatted in most of my classes. You want to go from the most formative, easy to do project to something that slowly builds accountability until where they're summative and they should know the stuff by then. So the first and the easiest thing you can do, give them a video lecture. All you have to do is watch a video. How hard is that? Okay. Second, assisted study. Okay, let's start reading through the text. Let's start answering some questions and see if you got an idea of what's going on now. So it takes a little bit more interaction, a little bit more accountability, but still, are you going to be penalized yet? No penalties there. And then homework for me, you have unlimited attempts, okay, unlimited turn-ins. But you do have to get it done and get it right at some point, and it'll give you solutions to work through. And then finally, you get to a quiz, which is going to be worth some points, but not as many points as the final one, which is a test. And so you see, as you go through this spectrum, you get to where you can see if people are really progressing, if they're learning, and mostly they just don't feel like they're just jumping off the cliffs. I mean, sometimes we just feel like, hey, here's the information, did you get it? Yes or no. And it's just this binary thing, but really, if you can leave a spectrum for people to engage and slowly increase accountability, slowly increase interaction and what they need, they do a lot better. They don't feel like they're being forced on things, okay? So it's formative to summative progressive assessments, and it's a spectrum. If you feel like you're just going boom, boom, you might need a little progression there, okay? Discussion online. Discussions are big. Sometimes we don't have enough time in class to go over everyone's comments and everyone's things, so any post or any comment section that you have in your course, you can do it through Canvas. It can be questions, answers, or observations, okay? Make a variety of them, and you have graded and non-graded, okay? Graded is, well, the way I look at graded is basically if you're having like a TA go through and look at them, or you're looking at them yourself to see if they're actually really good comments. Non-graded is more like, hey, you just gotta at least participate, have a post there, do something. And sometimes you might have just optional ones that are truly non-graded. You're like, hey, if you guys want to talk about it, there you go. Don't expect much participation though if it's like that, unless it's something that's really got a good debate feel going. Okay. Why do we use discussions online? To make people think and learn. Yeah, it gives people a chance to think and learn, because in a class time, whenever I've had a debate, sometimes I'd be like, oh, I had a good idea, I had a good comeback, I had some new research, I had something else, and class is over. Class is over, I can't do that. With this, I have time to look at a comment, analyze it, critique it, and write back something that makes sense. Other thing, it makes silent people take and engage, okay? They're going to take these comments and they're going to engage them. A lot of times silent people in debates, they'll just sit back. They won't do anything in class, and then because of that, they just tune out and they're not learning. With this, when it's online, it's like, hey, you have time. There's enough room for everyone to speak. Have at it, okay? And also, like I said, give more avenues for content development outside of class. A lot of times when we learn things in class, people are engaged until they realize I don't have to do it anymore, okay? But if this, I say, hey, we're just springboarding this debate in class and we're going to finish it online. That's what I see. It's that progressive spectrum. You get people not only learning in class, but realizing I need to learn so that I can finish it online, okay? That's how you kind of complete these cycles. You let them know that this online stuff is an extension of class and we're going to really get it moving. It's not just something on its side, it's an extension, okay? How can we make them better? Make it clear with spectrum form. If you're going to say, hey, I need 2 comments, you need to have a question, and you need to have a critique on something, make it clear what they have to do. If it is not graded, very few will engage, just to let you know. It could be based on participation and amounts of comments. I mean, you could do one where it's like per discussion, or you can say over the course of this class, you need to have 50 comments. At which point people are like, oh, I better get these comments going, and then just start working them in there. All right, and it can have a little thing that kind of goes on the side. Depends on which type of formats you use. Make clear starter questions for them to springboard on, okay? You need a good starter question. If you don't have something that people feel like discussing, you're gonna have issues, okay? So that goes into personalization. This is where we talk about these springboard questions. Okay, ask them questions from the lecture. Make sure it's pertinent to what's going on. Okay, and then put them in an online discussion where they continue to develop. Okay, and this is where it comes. Question must be interesting, debatable, and affect us, okay? If it's missing one of these things, if it's not very interesting, if it's not debatable, and if it doesn't affect you, people tune out. So try and do a basic check mark on those, see how your question's going. So for example, if I said, is the minimum wage important? Okay, it's interesting, maybe debatable, maybe affect us. Okay, but the thing is, are there other ways I could phrase that? Should we have the minimum wage? You can do follow-up questions with it as well. What would happen if we had no minimum wage? Okay, then you start looking at speculation, and people can start debating it, and it is going to affect us. Should we raise the minimum wage? Okay, so now I'm even a little bit more leading as far as things that could be happening. You're going to have changes happen when you have a question like that, okay? Summary. Use online tools to make class time more interactive and engage in higher levels of learning. Yeah, and just basically think of online tools as an extension, okay? You're using them to develop the course and bring it on, and you're going to focus on student needs. As I've done this, and I've looked at my surveys from students, this is where I want to take on. My surveys have gone up since I've done online lectures. Students are like, hey, I don't feel class time's wasted. I feel that I'm getting what I need at home. And when we are in class, it's actually worth my time. I don't feel like I'm sitting there at a movie watching something because I'm doing that at home. And when I come in here, it's engaging because we can move on. We're not just sitting on the basics. So the final thing, the demo. Okay, let's go through the demo and let's see what we got here. Okay, so we close out of this. Let's go on in. You're wondering what OBS looks like. This is an example of OBS that I'm using. There's a lot of different tutorials on how to set this up. Beautiful open program. Okay, I love it. And also, as you can tell right now, it's giving you the infinite viewing. So go ahead and minimize that. Okay, this is McGraw-Hill with Learnsmart. If you look at the way I got my chapter set up here, they have a Learnsmart they do. And before that, they should be watching the video. So over here's where my videos are. They're on the playlist. Then they're going to go on. They're going to do their homework and then quiz. And I just have it in that simple progression. As always, what's nice with this, it gives me quick feedback. I can always look and just see where people are as far as the class. If they're struggling with a certain assignment, everything's very clear there. And I can see what's available to them. And deployed means that's connected to Canvas, which is what we use at UVU, and I can see if they're getting scores there. So depending on the system you're using, it'll change a bit. Overall, this is the setup that I'm using. Let's take a look and see what Learnsmart looks like. So with Learnsmart, if you do use it as far as the assisted stuff, usually you can go into it. It says preview Learnsmart study module as a student. Let's see how this actually works. You know, it's booting up. So this is a little bit of how the assisted learning goes, which is really nice because sometimes you don't know what you don't know until you find out you don't know it. A little bit repetitive, but it's true. All right. Taking a while to load. It's letting people know that it's past due, but we're just doing it for demo, so. So with here, it lets them go to basically any part in the book they want to go to, which is nice for just general reading. Shows you page 2 out of 359 over there. It's loading up the content. To actually progress, though, you have to go over here to practice. Okay. And then you can choose which one. We'll just do this one. Yep. And you see right down there, I have a progress bar right here. So unless I'm getting questions right, it's not going forward. So students can just go click, 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 click. No, like, no. Are you actually reading about this, okay? And right here, you see suggested resources. Read about this. So if I don't get this right, or even if I do get it right and just want to understand it more, I can go over here and get this. So it says the 3 basic economic questions are what, how, and blank to produce, okay? When to produce, why to produce, where to produce, for whom? Well, I think it's for whom. And then the other thing that's interesting about this, the way they do theirs is like, I know it, I think so, unsure, no idea. So it kind of gauges like how familiar you are with it, even if you get it right, so you get an idea of where you're at. So let's go put, I know it. Oh, there we go. I click OK. If you look here, it progresses. If not, I then have the opportunity to go look and find the stuff that I need to get done. So that's how that one works. It's pretty straightforward. So we'll go ahead and close out this. That's an example of the assisted study. Homework, just like homework on any other thing you would find. It lets them go in. You can change like how many times they can do it. So I'm not going to worry about demoing that as much. Over here is an example of the videos that I have. So I actually did every single one of these videos in one day for the class. I just set out time, had my recording software, had my outlines, reviewed them, and then went through all the PowerPoints. If you look over here, they're all pretty close to the same time stamp. Like here's 42, 39, 38, 39, 40. You have to have a pattern. People have to be able to rely on how long it's going to take to get through it. But for every single chapter that we end up covering, we have it there. One of them I went really fancy on and actually did the whiteboard handwriting stuff. That took a lot more time to animate. But as you can see, I was able to fit all the content in like almost half the time. I mean, I did cut some content out, it looks like, but it was really speedy and fast. But it took a lot more time to do something like that. And I think it's nice, you just give them a link to the playlist, they can go in there. And like I said, like down here, you can already see the interaction that goes up, okay? You can start seeing what people are getting out of it as they try and go through it. You can see what they're struggling with. You can see what they liked, what they want to focus on more. You get a good idea of what's going on here in the regular comment section. And this one already here has like 292 views. So imagine how many people you have in a class. 30, okay? 292 divided by 30, that's how much info I've been able to give out to these students and to help them really get out and learn it by having online lectures. Okay, and so here's a sample of it.
People
you can see it's just like it is right now.
They got reasons.
Playing over there, got the green screen.
Describe what market demand and supply measure.
Go ahead and pause that. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I can show you, I guess, the homework really fast over here. So let's go over. So this is where it shows how to jump into Canvas from Connect if you're using Canvas. And go over here to Home. And remember, your students all have a login if you have this book, so they can get it and use it, or whatever book you happen to be using if you're in a different course. So let's go ahead and do here, homework problems, preview. So here it's going to show you what they're going to be looking at and getting, show you the references and everything. Biggest thing is policies. Like if you look over here, I just have them so they keep doing it till they get it right. Unlimited attempts are allowed. Just keep working on it. So, I think that's probably about it for the demo. If you have any other questions or anything like that, let me know. OBS though is the big thing to use. I'd use OBS for this, for if you're going to do the actual lecture videos. And like I said, if you have students that you want to give an example to what their video quality could be, this is it. I mean, I can definitely improve the mic somewhat, get a higher grade mic. I just got a Blue Yeti, which is fairly good, but you can definitely spend lots more money if you have it to get high-end recording setup. So I believe that is it. So overall, hopefully you guys, if you have any questions, let me know. And get these set up. Start with video lectures, start with a video syllabus even, okay? The video syllabus isn't in this playlist because that's a playlist of the chapters, but start with the video syllabus, start getting chapters on there, start getting these online discussions going. Things will work. As far as the online discussions I use are just in Canvas. It depends on what tools you're using, but they have different versions of those. And I hope you all enjoyed it. So take care, everybody.